Look, then run for your life. Incredible is the word for the world's first monster musical. See in magnificent Eastman color, the daring, dancing, enticing, and horrifying. The incredibly strange creatures who stopped living and became mixed-up zombies. From the innocence of music and laughter comes the twilight of terror. Along the midway, scantily clad dancers luring the young lovers into the sideshows.
She gets her shook out of shake.
See the dancing girls of the carnival murdered by the incredible night creatures of the midway.
I only know that something evil lies ahead for me.
An unspeakable pit of dismal subhuman monsters who drool and gibber, moaning for the thrill of revenge. Incredible are the songs, the gaiety, the zombie stomp of those who will stop living. And then the mix-up, trickery, and the device to ruin. See the hunchback of the midway fight a duel of death with the mixed-up zombies. Turning men into monsters, twisted, tormented human vultures, yearning to kill. Incredible creatures clutching at the thin threads of their miserable lives. Human vultures, only the weird zombies remain.
She sure got a shake.
Obey.
Who is the woman branded in birth wearing the wart of horror?
Do as Madame Estrella said.
The world's first monster musical. The incredibly strange creatures who stopped living and became mixed-up zombies.
Now, you watch the lunch, Elmer, while I go and do a little fishing. And if you don't, I'll... If you don't, I'll... Where's the lunch?
You want to know?
Yes.
Shall I tell him?
While the beach set twists to the big beat sound of the Dellers, swinging out with 6 rocking hits, while the cycle gangs burn up the road and strong-arm their way into the party with fists flying, while teenagers prepare for a secluded slumber party, ghoulish atomic beasts who live off human blood. Again and again, the fiendish monsters struck like nothing that ever stalked this earth. An entire city in the throes of panic, at the mercy of demons from the dead.
Good evening, goblins and ghouls, and welcome to the Friday Night Scream Stream. I'm your host, Spakenstein, joined as always by my very good friend, Mr. Evan Sink.
Good evening.
How are we doing tonight, Evan?
We are good. We're good. We've got the new mic mount. I've got so much room for my hands now.
Yeah, I mean, again, we talked about Evan. Evan is a very he's very prone to gesturing while he speaks.
Very gestural.
And it's been really hard with his microphone right here. It's kind of, he'd just be hearing like a all the time, which would be awful. And I'm sorry that I had to do that to you there, but that's what we'd be working with. So now, yeah, Evan, look at you. Look at all that room you have over there. Isn't that nice?
Moving on up, man.
Moving on up. I mean, we've been around long enough. We always try to add some upgrades.
Right, yeah. We're taking all this money we're making off the stream and reinvesting into the show.
All the billions and billions of dollars that we're raking in from doing this show is going into just these small, tiny little upgrades every once in a while.
All the Alco money's finally coming in.
Yeah. Oh my God. It took long enough, man. My goodness.
Sorry, Alcoa.
Alcoa. See, that's what I thought. Yeah. Alcoa.
Can't leave the A out.
No. I mean, Alcoa owes us a lot. I mean, and we'll have to go back to one step beyond eventually. So then they're really gonna owe us double time at that point. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Thanks everybody so much for joining us tonight on this officially first Friday of summer.
That's right.
Installment of
summer. We've had the longest day of the year. It's come and gone.
It has come and gone, and
they're only getting shorter.
That's wow. A way to really put a bummer mood on the sun. Summer's beginning, but actually not really. And again, as we talked about on the minisodes, we haven't even really had much of a summer in our neck of the woods so far.
This whole week, it's been the first week of summer, and it's been raining all week. And luckily, so it's nice, and it's completely humid now.
Yeah, today we got a nice humid day.
The air outside is a nice, hot, thick soup.
Don't you love that?
Yeah.
Don't you love? I mean, when it feels like there's a toxic gas in the air, Oh, it's breathable. It's not gonna transmute you into some kind of hideous monster
Kind
or
of hideous
anything.
beach monster.
Beach monster. Wink, 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 wink. Yes, and of course, because it's the first summer installment of the show, we want to take it to the beach, because where else would we all, if we could be anywhere all summer, if I could be anywhere, I can only speak for myself. If I could be anywhere all summer, it would be the beach. And honestly, I had that job and it was great. It was literally my job for 2 summers, which was beach lifeguarding, sit out on the beach all day.
Paid to sit on the beach.
But I will say that it became hard to actually sit on the beach and enjoy myself when I wasn't working, because I was just always watching the water waiting for something to happen. So it took me a while to like actually begin to enjoy,
to return to civilian life.
At the beach. But I mean, I love the beach during the summertime, and so I want to bring that vibe here to everybody tonight. And I think we've got the perfect film for it, because tonight, again, with our summer of schlock, I'm trying to find really the cheesiest, most ridiculous horror films that I can find. And so this checks both boxes: ridiculous and beachy. And so tonight we are watching The Beach Girls and the Monster from 1965. So it's all in the title, right? I mean, pretty much
what it says on the tin.
Exactly as advertised. There's beach girls and there's a monster, and it is. I mean, the mid 60s was an interesting time, and basically this movie mashes up 2 genres that were popular in the mid 60s: horror films, which, I mean, obviously, if you've heard anything from my ramblings on this show, it's that horror has always been popular, like, for box office draw and exploitation and all this stuff. But definitely at this time, drive-ins were becoming a big thing, so horror was big. And the new emerging subgenre at the time, the beach party film. So this movie matches that up. And we saw that trailer coming in at the end of our pre-roll, The Horror of Party Beach. That came a year before tonight's film. So The Horror of Party Beach is kind of the first official mixture or combination of the 2 genres.
What did it bill itself as? A horror musical?
The first horror musical, which the first trailer we saw in our pre-roll, The Incredibly Strange Creatures Who Stopped Living and Became Mixed Up Zombies, they also lay claim to being the first horror musical. Both of those films, and I think they both came out in 1964.
Yeah, I mean, if it doesn't have that, it at least has longest title.
It definitely gets in a record book, into a record book in some other places, and but both movies kind of claim to be horror musicals, and certainly The Horror of Party Beach is definitely very much cashing in on the beach party craze. So that's what tonight's film is, and so it's gonna be very cheesy, very over the top. You're following these kids they're just wanting to be out at the beach all the time and ride the waves and chase girls, and
So can we I don't know if I've ever seen a beach party movie. Can we maybe elaborate a little on what that is?
Yeah, and we'll actually,
how do you make a movie out of that?
During our first break, we'll get to see some trailers for beach party films, and but basically, the studio that Roger Corman made his Edgar Allan Poe movies for, American International Pictures, they were like the big producers of B movies, independent B movies, or big distributor of independent B movies at the time. And they basically got this idea for a movie called Beach Party, which was, there's a storyline following like a professor, and he's studying like teens and like what, I don't know, it's some weird thing, and like, but the teens the movie basically follows these like maybe like 10 to 20 kids who just like hang out at the beach, and they are like, or they're going to some clubs, and it's mostly comedy, right? Like there's romance, and there's usually surfing, but it's like it's like the actor has like a rear projected like background, and they're like,
I'm hanging 10.
I'm hanging 10. Yeah, that is basically what that's. So they're very cheesy. They don't touch on any, like, again, the mid 60s was a very volatile time in America. That doesn't touch on any of that. Even though, again, it's kind of in a way like it's a movie about the youth, because it's following a group of kids more or less, because they ended up, Beach Party was a huge success. So American International made like 8 of these movies over a 5-year period, and a bunch of other studios copycatted, and like the major studios were making Beach Party films. And it was basically a sanitized version of the youth of that time. Yeah, Protect the Tigers. Yeah, see, the 60s, I mean, it was like the Beach Party films were not representative of what the youth was really like in the 60s. The Beach Party films were like a 40-year-old's idea of what clean teenagers should be like. So they're squeaky clean. I mean, every once in a while they're like drinking alcohol, and I mean, obviously there's a lot, I mean, it's people running around in bathing suits, so they're obviously trying to like push things, and but then they go, American International would have all these old outdated film stars under contract, so they put them in these Beach Party films. So like Buster Keaton is doing like gags, and like a trailer, we'll see Boris Karloff pops in one, right? Like pops up in one. They would kind of, I mean, Vincent Price basically had his own Dr. Goldfoot and the Bikini Machine, where it was like they weren't really on the beach for that one, but basically it's women in bikinis and the same actors from the Beach Party films, but then Vincent Price doing his mad scientist shtick. And so, but they also, they didn't all necessarily exclusively take place at the beach, and so there's like Ski Party, right? And I'm getting all into, but like it was just a very interesting time. And so that's the Beach Party films. It was like just a 5-year period of time that this was popular. But tonight's movie, The Beach Girls and the Monster, comes smack dab in the middle of it. And so, but it's got some interesting talent behind the screen, on the screen. There's a lot of interesting facts about this movie. So I'm super excited to get into it tonight. The other thing I'm excited for is, as always, Evan brings us a delicious cocktail in a segment which this season we're calling
Schlocktail Hour.
Do.
So this week we're going to the beach, and it's not just any beach. This is a beach that, as far as I'm understanding, is full of girls.
Yep.
So I feel like it would be remiss of me, it would be a missed opportunity if we didn't do the classic Sex on the Beach. So this is 4 ingredients. It's vodka, peach schnapps, orange juice, and cranberry juice. And if you've been following this season especially, you'll know that I've been having a lot of fun combining things and mixing drinks together. And what's interesting is some people think that this drink came out of Florida and was also the same thing. It was two drinks kind of smashed together, because vodka cranberry, that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you've ever heard of a fuzzy navel, that's OJ and peach schnapps. It's like a screwdriver's smoother cousin.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you put both of those together, then you get the Sex on the Beach. But because I can't leave well enough alone, and I've been on kind of a kick here lately doing some Scream Stream original drinks, I decided to bring in our missing ingredient. You know, we've got the beach, we've got the girls. What are we missing?
What are we missing?
Could we be missing our monster?
Ah!
So I've decided I usually, when I'm making these drinks, I do it kind of from the name backwards, without too much consideration on how much this is how well or good this is actually going to taste.
Wow, way to really set the bar.
Well, it is
set expectations
Schlocktail
high.
Hour, to be fair.
To be fair, yeah.
I get a little bit of wiggle room, I think.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. Very fair.
So if we combine our monster with our Sex on the Beach, we get this week's drink, which I'm naming the Sex Monster on the Beach.
Everybody look out, there's a sex monster on the beach. Run! Run for your lives.
This is a bad beach. Why did we come to the Sex Monster Beach?
Where are the police? There's a sex monster on the loose and nobody's doing anything about it. Ah! Well, it's got a very interesting color, I must say.
Yeah,
I wasn't with the monster. I wasn't sure what it was gonna do to the look of it.
Kind of made it a little pale.
Yeah, I do like that. Oh yeah. Well, hey, very very good. Yes. No, that Protect the Tigers. That's that good to experiment. Make different drinks, but when it's time to throw the hat in the ring, it's always a good decision. So,
all right, I'd say we'll give it a cheers.
Cheers,
everybody.
That's really good.
That's delicious.
That's really good. I can't.
Yeah. I can taste the monster, but it's not overpowering.
I don't drink Monster, or really haven't, outside of the other time that Evan had Monster on the show.
I'm not much of a Monster guy, but it has such a distinct flavor. I think once it's easy to pick out. I think among everything else.
There's some
cranberry
flavor that's lingering right now, and I can't tell if it's it's probably the Monster, but
I think between that and the cranberry, probably the strongest.
Yeah, I could see that. But it is really good.
It's
good.
It's
very.
I wanna kick back on the beach.
That's what it is. That's where it would be perfect for him. Yeah. No, this is a very beachy drink. It's very cool, and
you just need the little umbrella and be perfect.
Yeah, I'm really surprised with how tropical that tastes. I don't know what it's very simple, in a way, right?
It is, yeah.
It's orange juice, schnapps. It's not.
I feel like there's a lot of them that are kind of like that though, just you throw some juices together and some splash of alcohol, and you get a nice tropical drink. It's hard to go wrong with those type.
Yeah, no, that's very true. And I think you've done an excellent job with the drink this evening, Evan. It is delicious. It is. I think it's gonna be the perfect pairing with tonight's film. I mean, again, I think this movie's it's gonna be too hot. I think we're all gonna need something to cool us down, because this movie, I mean, it's just gonna lay it on hot and heavy. And whether that's just heat from how garbage, how much of hot garbage this movie is, which I wouldn't say that. I mean, again, I haven't seen tonight's film, so that's I don't think I've seen any of the film. What did we watch last week?
That was the werewolf movie.
Yeah, I haven't
Girls' Dormitory.
I haven't seen any of the films that we've watched this season.
Okay.
So
got kind of a thing going.
we do. Yeah, it is cool. I mean, I love to be able to branch out and find new movies. I'm like, oh, that was great. I'd definitely watch that again. And I think, I mean, Manos is just, you know, I mean, I would watch Manos again. I know there's been a lot of hate for Manos, but I mean,
it was fun.
It was a lot of fun, so I'd watch that again. But I mean, that's the cool thing about seeing new things on this show is I could find something that I'm like, oh God, why didn't I watch that earlier?
Yeah,
I
like,
love this.
I like not being the only one who hasn't seen the movie.
No, it's good, right? It keeps you know, we're just. I'm not sitting here like, okay, I know what's gonna happen. I already know. You know, I'll let them see what they think is gonna happen.
I'll you know, posit some BS like prediction, and you're like, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, we'll see.
Maybe we'll see.
That was very good. Yeah, we'll see. No, I mean, it really it does. It you know, it keeps it fun, but I enjoy getting to see something I've never seen before. So I haven't seen tonight's film, but I'm very excited. I mean, again, it's all in the title, The Beach Girls and the Monster. But you know, just a little factoid on the movie before we get into it. The movie is directed by and starring a guy who in the 40s was a fairly big Hollywood star named John Hall. He ended up like retiring in like the 50s and then kind of got lured out of retirement to help make this film, and it's the only movie he ever directed. He wasn't a director. And curiously enough, he's also credited as the DP. So
really,
yeah. So it's a very strange case of an actor who's also DPing it, who's also directing it.
This is doing everything.
Well, the you know, the producers seem to have a hand in how the movie turned out, but we'll get into all of it tonight. Again, it's got a very interesting
it's a team effort.
It's just got some very interesting making of facts, and you know, again, it much like all the beach party films, there's a lot of music, and the popular genre at the time was surf rock. And I don't know if it's true, but apparently this movie's supposed to have like 13 different surf rock songs in it.
Wow, we got a real musical tonight.
So we did. I mean, again, we were a little disappointed last week with Werewolf in a Girls' Dormitory when Ghoul in School only played for 30 seconds, and we were expecting a little more.
We're making up for it tonight.
You're going to get more music than you can handle tonight. And interestingly enough, apparently, and it says so in the credits, the music is, you know, written and composed by Frank Sinatra.
What?
Jr.
Oh, okay.
Frank Sinatra Jr. But there's a lot of debate as to, some people think he just kind of helped co-write like one of the songs.
Maybe it was the other Frank Sinatra Jr.
And then right, yeah. Frank Sinatra, and Junior's actually his last name, so his name is Frank Jr.
Sinatra's just his middle name.
Exactly. So yeah, that's kind of the weird thing with all these songs is, you know, I'm pretty sure it credits Frank Sinatra with most of the music, but it's really just like the title song that he helped with.
Wow.
So
wouldn't have pegged him for a surf rock man.
No, sir. I definitely didn't. I mean, come on. He's got to be crooning, baby. Driving crooner. Yeah, no, he's you know, this was early in his career. This was actually not too long after he'd been kidnapped. Which, if you don't know that story about Frank Sinatra Jr. being kidnapped when he was 19 years old, go read into that because it is fucking wild. But yeah, so I think anything before we get into it tonight, Evan.
Trying to think. What's on the beach?
sex,
Yeah.
monster. Ah! Ah, it's got me. Ah! It's helping my neck. No. I think on that note, we're going to go ahead and get into the exciting beginning of The Beach Girls and the Monster right now.
Dance, baby, dance, come and dance with me. Hear the beat of the pounding sea. Ride, baby, ride, come and ride with me. Let your feet go easy and free.
Blah!
There we go.
There it is. All right, that's the movie. Roll credits.
We got them. We got the Beach Girls. We got the Monster.
So apparently these dancers are the dancing Watusi girls from the what is it? Hollywood's Whiskey A Go Go Club. Woo!
So that's Frank Sinatra Jr.
No, I don't think he's singing it. It's like I said, music, Frank Sinatra Jr., screenplay Joan Gardner. I don't think so. There's an interesting story about the music with this movie. I'll talk about it later. But yeah. So Joan Janis, she's actually also the screenwriter. She's credited as Joan Gardner for the screenplay for some reason, and Joan Janis for that song. And that's her husband was the producer. So it was a married couple that kind of, they really were the driving force behind producing it, writing it, and then they brought John Hall in to direct. Oh yeah, just caught a sick wave.
Really
so sick, dude.
Hey, Tom, what are you doing out there? Making like a fish? Hey, do you want to wait for him?
Hey, he's body surfing, all right? Leave him alone. He doesn't need a board.
Hey, take it easy, sport.
Sport.
Oh, I'm just caught in a rip current. It's okay. Yep. I mean, could you imagine? I don't think anybody in the are you just there dancing on the beach like that?
Was anybody bringing out the spool recorder like that? I guess that's portable.
I guess so.
Mayonnaise?
Mayonnaise?
On a hot dog?
Ew.
And some pickle relish?
God, yeah, load it up with
load it up,
Jesus.
Just a little bit of sand.
What?
Got
him. Did the hot dog like fall out of his hand or something?
You ruined my hot dog. Get back. You don't mess with a man's dog.
All right.
Oh,
Get
we
ready
got
for the
sex on the
wave.
beach.
Get ready for the wave. Here it comes. Keep kissing. Oh, no. I was just waiting for that shore break to just pound into him. So bright and bouncy. Uh-oh. What happened to the surf music?
What could be in this spooky beach cave?
Yeah, I don't know. That's just a great question, SC. Oh shit. Oh. Turn around.
It's the mummy. The seaweed monster. God. Got a beach strangler.
Ah.
It's like the leeches.
It's just weekly, kind of. Yep.
Or no, sorry, it's like the werewolf from last week.
Yeah, that's right.
It was a bit of a strangler. Face scratcher.
Oh,
strangler.
Yeah, from behind and then up close, he looks like. I mean, up close, with those eyes and that goofy looking face.
Bunny! Bunny!
Hey, are you okay? There it is. There it is.
He did this to you over a hot dog?
I swear I wasn't that mad about the hot dog, okay? I would never have heard
I
her.
like sand on my hot dog.
Where's the body?
It's right down there.
Jazzy.
And now this is maybe a little Frank. I can see. That's kind of.
Follow me.
Ba, ba, ba.
The perfect.
Where's the body?
The perfect
All
lead
right,
in
where were you
to
kids when this thing
crime
happened?
women.
Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. One at a time.
Get out.
What's your full name?
Richard Lindsay.
Where do you live, Richard?
Right up there in that house.
Ooh, nice. Nice house.
Hey, Scott, come here.
House on the cliff.
What do you make of this?
Looks like
They're
Bigfoot
footprints.
tracks.
We've got a Bigfoot.
Bigfoot on the beach. We got it. That's our next
there's
movie.
that.
You can't steal it. We called it.
Where does the other end go?
It dumps into the ocean.
I would actually love to see that movie.
Like he's on vacation.
I didn't know we were going to get spinny newspaper in here.
Well, Sheriff, it's not the claw print of any fish in this area. The men at the lab can't tie it down either.
What kind of fish has
They
claws?
suggested that you, being an authority on fish, might know what it is. It's amazing. It looks exactly
Yes,
like
I'm
the
an authority
South
on
American
fish. I'm a
manticore
fish judge.
That's a carnivorous man-eater. It can live in or out of water. Weighs about 100 pounds.
So that's John
a pretty
Hall,
good size, but whatever made that print had to
the
weigh at
guy in
least
the cheer.
250 pounds or more. Well, I'm afraid that's the best I can do for you. It certainly looks like the Fantigua to me. It could be a mutation, of course. Some of the studies we've been doing here at the lab on mutations are amazing. Mutated? Could this Fantigua fish grow large enough to come out on land? I mean, could it breathe out of water? Yes, it could breathe out of water if it could retain fluid in its lungs. And as a mutation, our studies show it could grow quite large. I hope you can take one alive, Sheriff. It would be a boon to science. Now, hold on, Doctor. I still believe that a human clawed that girl to death, not a fish, no matter how big. And we'll get him, too. Probably some madman. Or one of those surfers that hang around the beach all the time. They're capable of anything, even murder. You think so? Strange. I always found them to be a nice bunch of kids just trying to find themselves. They'll find themselves in your jail one day. I tell you, Sheriff, something's got to be done about them.
This
The
is
boys
how
are
beach party
nothing but a
movies
bunch of
always
hookers
are.
And the girls are little tramps. They contribute absolutely nothing to a decent society.
The adults are always upset about. They're all out there in their bikinis. They're not contributing.
dancing on the beach.
I'll tell the men at the lab about this Fantigua fish just to be on the safe side. I'll let you know if we find one.
I'm the
Please do.
stick in the mud
Goodbye,
authority figure.
Goodbye.
Yep, every beach party movie's gotta have one.
Oh, these kids on the beach. They keep me up at night.
Oh, I wish my 30-year-old son would get off the beach.
funny. I was swimming just where she was killed just a few hours before. It could have been me. I should have stayed around. I missed all the excitement.
Excitement? Bunny's dead. Doesn't that mean anything to you?
Jesus.
What should it mean to me?
I love that hairdo, dude. All on the side, bro. Bring it back. Somebody bring it back.
He dead on that beach.
The big dude.
You know, we should really try to get along together. For your father's sake. Just one big, happy family.
Save some of that jazz for Dad. He's the one that needs it.
A whole can's
I'm a
worth.
very loving little wife.
Don't give me that. I know exactly what you've been doing.
Oh, and what have I been doing?
Just keep away from me, Vicky. Don't push me too far.
Why, is that any way to talk to your stepmother?
Stepmother? You're not fit to be anybody's mother.
Oh,
Never do that
damn.
again, Vicky.
She got him right in the shoulder.
Now you sound like Otto when he's in one of his crazy tantrums.
Vicky? Richard? Where are you?
Remember what I said.
I don't know where I'm standing right now. I think I'm losing my mind or something.
Good evening, Vicky. Hi, son.
Why?
I bumped into the sheriff
Why did
as I
we
was pulling
crash
in.
zoom
He
on
told
that?
me about Bunny. I'm sorry, son. It's a tragic thing to have happen.
Oh, yes, poor Richard. It's upset him terribly.
I've got to get over to Janie's, Dad. She's been taking this pretty hard.
Oh, I was hoping we could spend some time together. Some interesting things have been happening over at the lab. Remember that experiment you were helping me with?
Dad, not tonight.
Will it escape?
Jane's been half out of her mind over this.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Can I see you a minute, Rich? Good evening, sir.
Evening, Mark.
See you in the morning, Dad. Let's go to your room.
He hasn't too much time for you lately, has he?
No, he hasn't been in the lab for months. Ever since the accident, he's let his work slip. Just hangs around the beach with those tramps. Vicky, I just can't understand his attitude.
I think Mark is playing on his sympathy. That limp's pretty convenient. It's gotten him a nice home.
I thought you liked Mark.
I was just being nice. That was over a year ago. How long is he going to stay?
Well, after all, Richard was driving when they had the accident. He still feels responsible for the injury to Mark's leg.
So his brakes went out. It wasn't his fault. Does he have to carry Mark for the rest of his life? Do we all?
Vicky, he's my son, and this is his home. If he wants Mark here, if he feels it's important, we'll all have to make the best of it.
Your son. Everything for your son. What about me? That Mark, the sculptor, he's got his pottery all over this house.
I thought you liked
How can you
posing
care
for
so
him. You said
much
he was
about
doing
your
his
kid?
Oh, Otto, you're blind.
You're
Can't
a terrible
you see
husband.
He's using you? He's taking advantage of you. Why, that accident was the luckiest thing that ever happened to him. And to ensure
Look, I told
his
you, it's
soft
me or
touch,
him.
He'll lean more and more on Richard. He'll take him away from you completely, just as he's taken him from your lab.
He can't do that. Not after all the plans I've made. Richard and I are going into research. I planned it for years.
Oh, Lord, am I sick of hearing about that. Otto, you're hurting me.
Oh, I'm sorry, dear. Until I met you, my only happiness was planning for my son. Vicky, I love you both very much. Nothing or no one will ever take either of you from me.
All right, Otto, let's forget it. You get so emotional. Whew, I'll be bruised for weeks.
I'm sorry, dear. I didn't mean to hurt you.
All right, Otto, let's go. It's late. Had you forgotten the board of directors dinner tonight?
Good Lord, I did forget.
Oh my God,
I
he's
don't suppose we could get out of it.
he's in the throes of Alzheimer's, early onset
I so
Alzheimer's.
look forward to those cozy little dinners.
Lost in his house.
Where are you?
Let's talk about the murder tonight and really shake them up.
Where am I?
Oh, Vicky, stop it. Come on,
I'm not
let's
even
go.
dressed.
I forgot to put on pants.
You're wrong about Vicky. You just don't understand her. You don't give her a chance.
Mark, look, let's forget it.
What'd you want to see me about? Oh, a couple of things. One, Dale dropped by some film he said you wanted to see.
Oh, the film on Hawaii. Where is it?
It's on the projector. And I wanted to show you something I did.
Let's take a look at it. I'll just have time to run it before I go to Janie's.
What is it with you and this surfing jazz? All of a sudden, it's such a big thing.
Listen, Mark.
This surfing
I'm just beginning
jazz.
to realize there's more to life than just test tubes and fish. I'm going to live a little before I settle down again. Gonna grab my girl.
Yeah, and then you hear that there's
then I'm
more to
gonna surf
life
on the
than
beach of
test
Waikiki
tubes and
before I get
fish.
too old to enjoy it.
There's surfing.
Surfing.
That is not what your father had in mind.
Rock.
I know. I haven't found a way to tell him yet, but well, I've got to live my
The
own life,
sick
Mark, not the
guitar
one Dad's
riff.
picked out for me. Life's too short. Today proved it. Bunny's gone just like that. I just want to store up some happiness for Janie and me before our time comes.
Rich, if the accident or my living in this house has caused you to change your plans, to give up your career.
Mark, the accident just opened my eyes to what I've been doing. Or rather, what I haven't been doing. I want you to stop taking life so seriously. Man, it goes by too fast. Too fast to waste. Come on, get the lights. Well, you see these films, the surf is great.
Pad out that runtime, baby.
How would you like to watch some unrelated surf footage? Cowabunga! Wow. This wave is so gnarly.
There's some pretty gnarly waves. It's pretty freaking sick, bro. So the guy that shot all this surf footage is also an actor in the movie. I don't think we've seen his character yet. So this is all like Hawaii's, like real Hawaiian surf footage. I mean, those are some
pretty
huge
big
waves.
Yeah. That's where you gotta go if you want to surf, I guess.
Huge waves and the longest boards you'd ever seen. We have boards for days. Oh my god. Oh shit!
Wow.
No, yep, no strap. Damn.
Boy, I've got to show these to Janie. She'll flip. Hey, I've got to get going.
Hold it. Now, there's something else I want to show you, and it'll only take a minute.
All right, buddy, what is it?
It's in my room. Come on.
What?
Beep.
It's over here. Rich, this is what I wanted you to see.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
Hot, right?
Looks like Bunny. I used her as a model a couple of months ago. I was wondering, do you think her folks would like to have it now?
I'm sure they would. Why don't you take
What?
it?
Whoa!
What?
Well, it might be better if you took it over.
I couldn't
on, Mark,
yikes
why don't
that
you get
fast
off?
enough.
Stop
Oh my
being afraid.
god.
You made it, you take it over.
Yeah, I guess you're right. All right, I'll take it over tomorrow.
Yeah, I've got to get going. Say, why don't you come with me? We'll stop by Bunny's house.
I'm sure
on the
her
way
parents
back.
will love it.
Oh, I can't tonight. I've got to work on Vicky's statue.
Our daughter was 17 years old last year. What do you mean
see
you? You're going to jail.
What's under that one? Oh.
Oh, I know that hairdo anywhere.
Vicky.
And that guy, the actor playing that character, actually made those sculptures.
What's the... I should know this. What's the sculptor who fell in love with his sculpture? The Greek guy.
I can't remember.
I can never remember that one. If S. is still watching, she would know.
She would know.
Are you sure you don't mind if we don't go down on the beach today? After Bunny,
Of course not, I understand. Besides, there's plenty of sun around the pool.
You
Oh,
know,
okay,
I
they
still
got a
can't
pool. I was
realize
like-
she's gone. Such a horrible death. The killer must be some kind of monster to color up like that.
Don't feel bad, honey. Let's try and forget it. I still love you, remember?
My, what a touching little scene.
Hi, Vicky.
I see you brought one of your little mermaids home. How nice.
That's right. That's right.
Well, I'm going down to the beach before I play model for Mark. So you'll have the house all to yourselves.
Lucille Bluth wink.
Have fun, children.
Don't, Richard.
I'm sorry, he is not a child. Look at him. With that receding hairline.
You're right, it is
Jazz
beautiful
Beach.
by the pool.
Jazz.
Let's go to the bar. I want to talk to you.
Okay.
You want a Coke?
No, thanks.
Let's go to the bar. You want a Coke?
More for me.
It's too bad the killer made a mistake. He should have hit Her Highness, the evil queen.
That's nothing to joke about.
Who's joking? The charming conversation she gave us just now will show you what's on her mind most of the time. How a man like Dad fell into that. He's well known in the field of oceanography, and her cute little title for him in company is Fish Doctor. Real dignity, huh?
I know how you feel, Richard, but she's still his wife, and there's no way you can change that.
If he could only see her for what she really is. A two-timing, cheating...
Hey, are you going to let her ruin our whole day? I thought we were going swimming.
You're right, lady. Come on.
And that is gonna take us to our first break. So we've had one killing so far.
Yeah.
Pretty early.
Very early.
Very early in the film.
We've got an early wrap on this character. Everybody clap.
Yep.
They're done.
Yep. Choose in and out. In and out. And you know, I mean, honestly, so the movie's only an hour and 6 minutes. So that like 21, 22-ish minutes went by really fast,
Pretty
right?
Quick.
Like
Yeah, pretty quick.
There was obviously there's a lot of like exposition. There's kind of
character drama.
Yeah, a lot of drama, which any beach party film.
Cut the tension in here with a knife.
Oh yeah, bro. Like I mean, you need a sturdy ass knife to cut through this tension because it's a lot. And I mean, obviously, everybody's kind of got their own. I mean, the son and his father have like some tension, and the son and his stepmother, and it's everybody's got like problems with everybody. It's it's a lot of drama. So I mean, it's kept my attention for the first third pretty well. I would say more than usual.
Yeah, more than partially because we've got some creeps.
We do. We have some creeps. There's
some creepy characters.
Weird people. We had like 3 minutes of surf footage, so that was like,
that was exciting.
That was actually fun to watch. I mean, you could just sit and watch like surf footage all day, and I have actually hung out with people, and that's all we've done is watch surf footage, and it's not. It's fun to watch, but this is something that I'm like, oh yeah, let me kill 2 hours watching surfing footage. No, but there was some good waves there. They were getting after it, so that was
board going airborne. I didn't think that thing was gonna stop. I thought it was just gonna keep going up and
that
away.
Was insane. I mean, yep, just it's an alien board. That's what it is.
It's a hoverboard.
Alien beach party. They infiltrated the teens, and they created the ultimate surfboard.
Yeah, Silver Surfer wiped out.
I mean, it is kind of wild because everybody wears a strap, nowadays.
Yeah.
So it's wild to just see somebody's board just fucking all up in the air, spinning around like a top. But that's old school surfing, obviously very different from modern day surfing. But
yeah, I don't know.
I was gonna say I'm not an expert. I barely.
You ever been surfing?
I
tried to surf.
I had tried many times. Only like a year or two ago did I actually have a successful surf session where I was able to like ride multiple waves.
Okay.
Like usually I could barely even catch a wave. And I don't know what it was that finally clicked for me about this I guess it was 2 years ago maybe now. And I had a longboard, like the boards that they were riding there. And I was just having a lot of fun, and I was like able to, it was just always hard to like catch it at the right time and stand up in time.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. They make it look easy. It is not easy.
It is not. Like, but it almost is like riding a bike in that sense of like that day that I figured it out.
Once you figure out how to like balance.
Yeah, it was like, oh, I know what I need to do now, and I can do, and boom, I'm just doing this, and I'm having so much fun. No, it
is fun,
dude. It took me years to get that far. Like the people who can just pick it up, I envy them because it was not. I'm a person who gets very frustrated trying to learn new things if I can't grasp it, like, within the first time of trying. Like, it takes a lot for me to like, and I had some terrible surf sessions where I couldn't even get out, like trying to just get myself out past like the breakers because they're churning so much, and then trying to ride a wave, failing, getting pushed past the breakers and having to try to get back out again.
Yeah.
It was just like, fuck this.
Struggle.
I'm not even able to ride a wave. Why am I, so like, so I had plenty of negative experiences that kind of soured me on really committing to like, oh yeah, I know I can get this. I'm going to get this.
I just like to float on the board and kind of pretend that I was a surfer.
Right. No, I'm like, now that when you said float on the board, that kind of triggered all the things that I remembered from the last time I did it, where, okay, this is how I gotta get, and I'm feeling, now's the time I need to stand up, right? I can feel how the wave is taking me, and now let me get here, and yeah, man, now I want to get out there on that board. This movie. It
makes you say, man, I wish I was at the beach.
I would certainly wish I was hanging out with what was that? What was the doctor? What was the fish doctor calling them? Tramps?
Oh yeah.
I want to hang out with
all these beach tramps.
All these beach tramps and monsters and
contributing nothing to society.
Former scientists turned beach bums, like the scientist's son, who looks like he's in his 30s, but he's decided, fuck science, I want to ride some waves.
I found wisdom on a surfboard.
He really did. And I mean, again, that is like what all the beach party films are about. Like usually, to an extent, there's some kind of storyline of some stuffy person who never, like, at the beginning of the movie, they would never have surfed, or they're like, oh, I don't get it, blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, by the end of the movie, they're surfing and they're all enmeshed in the culture and they love it. And that's a beach party movie.
Yeah,
right?
And then they're burning their draft card. And
no, the most topical in terms of the culture, like real culture at the time, that they even tried to get in those movies was the presence of a biker gang. And even then, they're like a punchline of like comic jokes of how like inept they are, and they're constantly getting into like shenanigans that a real biker gang would like fucking murder people. And it's just like, all right, this is obviously not based in any kind of real semblance of the times. But I mean, that's not to say there weren't like more dramatic beach set films from bigger studios that tried to kind of tackle some more issues. But the beach party films from AIP, American International Pictures, all about fun, right? That's like priority number one is fun. So those are the two trailers that we're going to be watching during the break. And the first trailer is for the first beach party film, called Beach Party, from 1963. And the second trailer that we're going to watch is from, I think it's either the same year as this film or like a couple years after. It's really one of the last beach party films because it was a big flop. and it's called Ghost in the Invisible Bikini, which we've seen that trailer before because it's got Boris Karloff in it, and it's weird because they're not at the beach. There's like a swimming pool at this.
What do you call it? The Ghost in the Invisible Bikini?
The Ghost in the Invisible Bikini, yes. And it
doesn't sound very practical.
It doesn't, but they make it work. And so like at this haunted mansion, there's a pool. And so this busload of teenager or whatever, whatever age these people are, just shows up to this haunted mansion, and they're Nancy Sinatra singing songs by the pool. And again, more Sinatra. It was obviously, that was the time. That was the other thing about the mid 60s is you have Sinatra's kids are like a thing. Like
out here crooning around.
Yeah. Well, Nancy was she's a big pop singer, and Frank Jr. obviously just getting out on the scene with Dance Baby Dance. I mean, you're never going to be able to get it out of your head now. No, and I mean, again, the credits did say like music by Frank Sinatra Jr., like implying like he had a lot to do with it, but there's a lot of conjecture about that. So, I mean, but yeah, I mean, so far I think we've already seen this is very much in the vein of a beach party film with your fun-loving youths and your crotchety old parents and all the tension.
And they've got to beat the monster in the big surf off, or he's gonna tear down the community center.
Yes. Now, I haven't seen this. I know that doesn't happen, but I want to see that movie.
Yes.
That's what I would love to see that. That would be a lot of fun. Yeah. Well, give me the first ticket. Sign me up. Yeah, I mean, beach party films are just so crazy, and yeah, like Ghost in the Invisible Bikini is one of the few times that they tried to actually bring a little bit more of a horror thing into it. But I mean, it's comedy. It's obviously comedy is what we're talking about here. So we're gonna get these two trailers, Beach Party and Ghost in the Invisible Bikini, and when we come back, we'll get into the exciting middle of the Beach Girls and the monsters. So stick around. We'll be right back. We're back. No, gotcha. We'll be right back.
Nothing is greater than the sand serpents up there. Yeah, we're surfing all day and we're swinging all night. Vacation is here, beach party tonight.
Beach Party, for the most uproariously uninhibited unveiling of today's pagan rites.
The Samoan puberty dance all over again.
The observing professor is Bob Cummings. Dorothy Malone is the professor's assistant, who can teach a few things herself.
After you write this book on sex,
Yes?
read it.
Frankie Avalon and Annette Funicello, two youngsters in love you'll love.
You know, the only thing I've studied this semester is you.
Well, I hope you don't flunk.
Ava Six, a prime asset at any party. Harvey Lembeck, a motorcycle matador. Maury Amsterdam, host to hot doggers and beach bunnies.
Why not?
Keep 'em moving and a grooving, don't stop now. Don't stop now.
Promise me anything but give me love.
Secret service spot where only I know. The Grimmage and the Hooters never go. Surfing, swinging, and surfing. Yeah, just surfing.
Treat him nicely. That's what you should do.
Vacation is here, beach party tonight.
What do we hold, sinners?
Girls!
Yeah!
There's There's an irresistible surge of that urge to romantically merge. Ah, it's wild and wonderful when 10,000 kids beat on 5,000 beach blankets.
Hey, wall-to-wall girls.
Laughing, loving, living it up.
Vacation is here, beach party tonight.
She's the swinginest ghost you've ever yearned for, haunting a pre-will reading seance.
I thought I made it clear to you and your wretched crew that you would dispose of everybody before I read the will.
What you have to do is to see that my rightful heirs get the money.
Yeah, man, here's one haunted house the M Gang wants to investigate.
What are all these strange people doing here?
Make the music pretty, play a happy song. Make the music pretty or I can't go on. Everybody's singing about a broken heart. Don't you know, can't you see it's tearing me apart now? Make the music pretty and I'll tell you why. Make the music pretty or you'll make me cry. Let me hear you play a happy melody. Come on and make the music pretty for me.
Television repairman.
Just take a look into my eyes.
Looking for maybe sex and the single ghoul? Here's a movie that has more than everything.
When you need me, when you want me, hey baby, let's go.
Why me? Why me all the time?
That Sinatra beat. Nothing to do with the mob, I assure you. Nothing at all.
Geronimo.
Geronimo, indeed. Yeah. So, Beach Party and Ghost in the Invisible Bikini, you know, kind of the beginning and the end of the Beach Party movement, which is really only like 3 to 5 years-ish. I think those movies were only 3 years apart. And then they did like try to do a couple more after Ghost in the Invisible Bikini, but that's when they were like, all right, this is over. This is a kid. Nobody's digging this. We gotta do some crazy shit. Let's make a movie about a television director who's tripping acid. And you know, we all know how that went. And they you know, AIP was such an interesting studio because like, you know, you still had the super big studios at the, like, classic Hollywood was just kind of like ending, you know, in the late 50s when the studio got created. But they just came on the scene and like, we're like, all right, well, we're just going to make movies for the drive-in market and for like, you know, small theater. They just knew they were always kind of targeting toward just a younger audience, and so they would like just hit upon trends. I mean, again, they let Roger Corman make 8 Edgar Allan Poe movies. Like, again, not 8 because you're not going to necessarily call Haunted Palace an Edgar Allan Poe story when it's Charles Dexter Ward. But that's, don't even get me started on how confusing the Roger Corman's Edgar Allan Poe movies can get. But basically, this studio was just kind of really tapped into trends, and then the studios would capitalize, basically. And AIP, I mean, their horror movies, like when they were really trying, some of them were considered pretty scary, but obviously the Beach Party films are just, silly fun. And
it's camp.
Anytime that you're saying it's camp, it's like, well, this isn't gonna be good. Yeah. Like it knows what it is, but it's trying too hard, right? It's just not. I don't know. I mean, again, I've seen like bits and pieces of some Beach Party films. Like I've caught them on TV before, but I've never watched a whole. If you call this a Beach Party film, then this is the first one that I've watched all the way through. And so I'm glad I'm starting with this one. Again, this is very much an indie effort, as we discussed. It's a husband and wife team this is the only movie they ever made, and otherwise they were in children's television.
Well, I was wondering where they sourced this monster costume, who's responsible for that, but maybe they just got it off of kids TV.
Actually, Evan,
am I right?
So the guy who's playing the sculptor right now, like Mark, right?
Yeah.
So he's played by this guy named Walker Edmiston, who was a puppeteer and a children's TV show host in LA, and they knew him through like those like children's TV, because like I think they worked on a television show, maybe like Time for Beanie or something. Like they worked on some television show together, and so he was actually sculpted those things because he was a sculptor. But then,
so did he really make the head and our mermaid?
So they
tribute?
went to a like prop department or costume department, and they're like, okay, well, we have like a body for a costume, but we don't have a head. So they asked Edmiston, who again, he was a puppeteer. He'd make his own puppets, right? He had his own children's TV show. He made the puppets. So they're like, can you do it? And so he sculpted it. See, I'm messing up on the word. But basically, he sculpted it, and then he contacted this guy named Don Post, who is like all the Halloween masks that people used to buy in like the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. Like the big company to buy them from was Don Post Studios. Well, Edmiston knew the real Don Post, so he's like, hey, if I come in like with a cast, can you, or if I come in with like a sculpture, can you like make a cast of it and make the mask? And he's like, yeah, I can do it. So essentially, yeah, Evan, and then Edmiston, he airbrush painted it, right? But that was essentially it. Like a puppeteer made the monster head. So you're really not, it's pretty much right on the money.
That's pretty cool.
And I've seen
all in-house.
And I've seen a lot of, when I was doing my research for this, it was comparing the look of the monster to like a deranged Muppet or like again, kind of making that connection of, it's so funny that, yeah, these people actually did come out of children's television. Like the guy who made the monster head, like they have a legit body, but then the head is just like very much puppet-like.
Yeah, it's very cartoonish.
Very incredibly cartoonish. But that's part of the charm,
I think
right?
it fits the vibe.
It does.
Out of anything we've seen, it would fit the vibe of this.
Yeah, it definitely does. So yeah, I mean that's you hit right on it. I'm glad that I'm glad that it was obvious. Yeah, so that's great. I think on that note, Anything before we get into?
I'm ready. I want to see this. I think we're due for another attack.
We're past due. I think we're gonna be looking. We're gonna need to collect, if you know what I'm saying. Sinatra, get the mob in here. No. Don't even. I don't want to be. I don't know. It was always a thing that people would joke about Sinatra and the mob, but there's like, that's pretty widely known, thing now that he was, definitely had some connections. So, obviously, that's how his son got the job for this movie. So we're gonna hear some more great Frank Sinatra Jr. songs as we get into the exciting middle of The Beach Girls and the Monster right now.
It's amazing. Every time she sees me, she's just got to bug me.
Of course. She knows just how to get you mad, and you haven't sense enough to realize that she's doing it on purpose. You're not terribly bright, are you?
Ooh.
I really don't know what
I'm a
seeing
scientist.
Oh, that's so.
Yeah,
Yep. She got that cap on pretty good by herself.
It was fast. Immediately dived in.
Oh.
Pretty fancy, but watch this.
No running on pool deck. No.
Hi, Danny. Hi, Mark.
Come on in, Mark. The water's great.
Oh, I can't. Vicky's coming over to pose this afternoon. She'll be here any minute.
Not this minute. She just left for a swim down at the beach.
Oh?
She'll be gone at least an hour. Come in for a swim, Mark. It'll do your leg good.
No, I can't. Maybe later.
Come on, Mark. It won't hurt you to get wet. Oh, come on.
Oh, no.
That isn't funny.
It's not funny. What is this bathing cap?
Oh, sorry.
Pineapple
Kinda
head.
edgy today, I guess.
Sorry, that sounds like a slur, doesn't it? Or some kind
Something to call Hawaiian, maybe.
Yeah, it could be bad. I won't say it. I'll refrain.
Police can't give him much information. Still no clue as to who killed her. And Bunny's dad is really upset. You wouldn't believe what he thinks of the sheriff.
You wouldn't believe what he thought of my sculpture.
What gets me is we were all so close and couldn't do anything. If only she could have screamed to let us know she was in trouble, maybe we could have reached her in time.
Well, her parents don't blame any of you. They
She
understand.
died real quick.
I guess we'll just have to leave it up to the police and see what they find out.
Yeah, I guess so.
Hey, you two were supposed to be swimmers, so swim!
You're supposed to be
Hey, so it's all
swimming.
right for you to throw me in the pool, huh?
You're the water lover around here, sport, not
Yeah,
me.
you're wearing a swimsuit.
That's right. You Tarzan, her Jane.
All right, I'm getting real Denny in the room vibes right now.
He likes to watch,
I'll see you later.
He's really a good guy. But I worry about him. He spends too much time by himself.
You're going to be by yourself if you don't watch out.
Spends all his
You never
time
pay
by
any
himself
attention
making these sculptures.
Oh, wow.
Okay, Esther Williams, you're pretty fancy. But watch this.
That's just a terrible swimmer. Terrible. What's terrible? You ever see my trick off the diving
He is
board?
dying to dive off this board.
My God. So this guy's been regressing pretty fast, huh? He was a scientist. He's working in his dad's lab. Had a good job now. He's a beach bum. He's surfing all the time. He's doing belly flops in the pool.
They hurt.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Even for the camera, you couldn't pay me to belly flop like that. Oh God, it hurts just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, see, the costume doesn't look bad, right?
Right, yeah.
But the head is very
And
rubbery.
I wouldn't say the head looks bad. It just looks very cartoonish.
Yeah. It's the eyes.
It is. It's got Muppet eyes. It's got like Elmo eyes.
Yeah. Oh,
So
she's moving too
close.
fast. Yeah.
Foil again.
Let me slink away now. And now 5 minutes of walking. I love you, sculpture.
Hi. Am I late?
Only about an hour and a half. Where were you?
I thought I'd take a swim.
Well, you're here now. Shall we get started?
Don't be so grumpy, darling. I'm ready.
He's gonna give her Muppet eyes.
Wrong position.
You know, you artists fascinate me.
They call me old Muppet
You're so
eyes.
different from other men.
And always. Men are men.
Before I married Otto, I had a lot of friends. All men, of course. They're so much easier to get along with.
You keep moving.
But now I don't
Hold
have any friends.
still. Uh-oh.
I'll bet you know what it's like to be lonely. You do understand. Oh, you really are lonely, aren't you?
Please, Vicky.
Oh, Mark, don't you think we run this little game into the ground?
But Vicky.
But Vicky, what?
I said hold
Did
still.
you think I'd make love to a cripple?
Yeah. Yikes. do.
Kill her. I could kill her.
Oh my god.
There you go. Wait, what?
Dad should be out of the lab any minute now. Thanks for coming along. Got a feeling he's gonna lecture me. I'm not up to it today.
I don't need this shit, Dad.
Big Daddy.
I'm going to catch some waves.
Thanks for picking me up.
Bro, sit in the back. Why we all got to crowd in this front seat?
Plenty of room in the back.
Doctors today. About the same. Still no feeling in the leg. I keep telling him we should be giving it more exercise. Why don't you come swimming with us tonight and work it out a little?
Swimming?
Tonight?
I thought you said you'd come back to the lab with me after dinner.
I'm sorry, Dad. Janie and I are going to a big party down on the beach.
How much time does this guy spend in the
I should have
lab?
checked with her sooner.
Check with Jane.
All
How
the
about your
time.
work? How much longer do you think I can make excuses for you at the lab?
I want to talk to you about that.
Down at the lab.
Now.
I must get back
Why
to the
not?
lab.
Mark
My
knows
heart
how
is
I
in the
feel.
lab.
We can talk in front of him.
Got nothing to do with Mark.
I'm not so sure. You weren't like this before the accident. Look, I've spent years and money building up a reputation for you to follow in. Now look, son, what are you thinking of?
Dad, look out. I've had enough accidents for a while.
I'm sorry. You're driving me crazy with this I don't care attitude of yours. Richard, what are you going to do?
Rick, pull over here. We're almost home. I can
Yeah,
walk
that's
back,
pretty
then you
bad.
and your dad can talk.
Pretty bad
Buddy,
for your
what kind of a friend are
projection.
you?
Mark's right. Let him out. We're going to talk this out right now.
You can walk home. We've got things to discuss. Is he gonna
Said I
like
needed
backpedal?
So long. All right, Dad. Now hear me out without interrupting, okay? Okay. While I was in the hospital, I
Airplane
realized how
right
close
now.
Mark
I'm
and I
getting
were
real
to
airplane
being.
vibes.
You know, they say your whole life flashes before you. Well, mine did. Dad, ever since high school and college, all I've done is study and work. We never did take those vacations we talked about. We spent them all in the lab.
I thought you liked the work we did together. Enjoyed oceanography.
I did. I do. But I want a little vacation.
I want to find out about the other things in life.
Dad, I want to play a little. Play? Good Lord, Richard, there's more to life than play. It's a serious business. Now, these past few months are lost. You can never get them back again.
I don't want them back. I wouldn't give up what I found for anything.
Richard,
And
you've
what have
lost
you found?
months.
That you can swim in the ocean on a board? Do you think those beach tramps will help your career? Or do you expect me to finance your playtime forever?
I have the money Mother left me, but I'm too much of a burden for you.
We're home. That was ridiculous.
That's it, Richard. I don't want to hear any more about it.
Well, what's the fight about this time?
Oh, my son prefers a life of play to work.
So, who doesn't?
Well, I won't allow it. I will not stand by and see him throw his life away.
Forget you,
That's for his own
Dad.
good. I'll stop him somehow.
Sure you will.
Don't you care about this?
What a
How it
weirdo. I'd
affects
rather
me?
be playing than being in the
Frankly,
lab.
Otto, I've had it up to here with you and your precious son. I don't care what you do with him.
Just
leave
here.
me
Not
alone.
here. I'm
So
just
that's
here.
what it's
I'm
come
here.
to
Right
with
now.
us.
She's still got a little
Is there
room to
nothing
go.
left?
We didn't have a heck of a lot to start with, lover. You got what you paid for. There were no guarantees.
Oh, Vicky, can't we?
We can't anything. Can't you get that through your head?
That was amazing. I love the music. Oh shit!
Jeez.
I
Okay.
don't think you should put sand in that cut.
Yeah, he just cut the shit out of his hand.
Yeah, that was great. Well, perhaps I'll go for a little swim.
Be good for my bad leg. At it again.
Yeah, these are definitely go-go dancers.
Yeah, these are the ones from the intro, right?
Yep.
The same 4 women.
Yep. From Hollywood's Whiskey A Go-Go on Sunset Boulevard. I actually, when I was out there for a couple months, I'd drive past Whiskey A Go-Go every day.
Really?
Yep,
Okay.
every day. Just
I wonder if they're still working there.
Probably. Yeah, they move a little slower, but they're still shaking it. I mean, this is what the beach party films were all about in terms of like hoping that they could court a male audience of 18 to, you know, whatever.
Yeah,
it's
well,
like
when you said beach party movie, this is kind of specifically what I was expecting.
yeah. Well, and the American International films had a little more than this, but not much more. I mean, the characters all had very kind of overly defined personalities. Like, they weren't just like spitting out a plot like here, right? Like, I mean, outside the sun, everybody else is just kind of a, this is my job in the plot of the film. They're not like, you know, I don't know. The beach party films tried to give the kids things to do. Wow.
Don't you feel anything for me anymore?
Otto, we've been married 5 years. The honeymoon's over.
Not for me, it isn't.
Otto,
Wow.
stop it.
Vicky, I love you very much.
You love your son. And those stupid fish.
Stupid
She knew that
fish.
5 years ago.
For months on end, you've left me alone in this house. You and Richard tied to that lab of yours. Well, if you'd really loved me, you would have taken me out. Gone on trips. Well, 100 things married people do together. Not use me when it was convenient for you.
How can you say that? I've given you everything you've ever asked for.
There are some things even money can't buy.
Oh, please, darling. Let's start all over again.
These fish bought
You've always
this
wanted
house.
to go to Europe. We can see Paris.
Too late, Otto. Can't you understand?
The fish paid for my convertible.
Vicky, we can't go on like this. Can't you even try to make a new start?
Yes, I'd like a new start. Away from you.
I won't let you go, Vicky.
Do you think you can stop me? How? How, Otto?
Ha.
You're mine, and I keep what's mine always.
Always is a long time. I wouldn't count on it.
Vicky, you're up. Oh, what's the use?
She's going out. Uh-oh. Who's she calling? Mark? Oh, hi, Mark.
Hello, Paul.
Paul. Oh.
I can't wait to see you either, darling.
God, remember when this was just like,
It's been a long time.
you know, something you had
Well,
to
I'm
think
ready
about?
now.
What?
The fact that like somebody else in the house could
No trouble
pick
Could be
up the
listening
call
on
and
another
listen to your-
line.
your
Tell him I'm going out with the
conversation.
girls.
Yeah, and only being able to walk like 3 to 5 feet in either direction, and that's, you know,
Okay.
stuck there. Could you imagine having an hours-long conversation?
Oh gosh, man. I mean, I remember doing that. I was, you know,
But like a
fairly
corded
young.
phone or a cordless phone?
We had a corded phone. And we had both, you know, at various points.
Where do you think
Yeah.
you're going?
Oh, I'm going out with the girls.
You've got a date, haven't you?
Why,
You lie.
do.
See, it's just the room.
Vicky,
It's
I don't want
just
you going out
the
tonight.
room.
There's a killer loose around the beach.
A killer. Oh, really, Otto? That's reaching. Even.
But with a killer, which would have made the room even cooler.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a killer on the loose.
Yeah, if they had a Muppet monster in the room, I think, I mean, it would have fit right in with
That's true.
that cast of characters.
Now, this is very beach party.
Yeah, this is what I was expecting.
Just like a large group of people
Playing
shaking
the
it.
bongos and
Yeah.
shaking it.
Shaking it.
Like a Polaroid picture.
I mean, again, think about how what a unique time this was. That's just like that's dancing.
Yeah, this is provocative.
Yeah.
All
Oh,
these
oh,
beach
God! My
trams,
avert
this
my
is
eyes.
Scandalous.
What is he? What instrument is he playing?
He just likes to pretend. What?
Whoa! All right. Great.
Okay.
That's ridiculous. Wait. Oh my God! What? Why? Was that good, Evan? Was it?
That
Oh
was-
my
that was-
God!
what
What is
is-
with all the gag shit? Why?
I really
I want to see one of the Groucho Marx like faces with the glasses and the nose and the mustache.
the snakes in the can is such a it's such a classic bit. I would never
Comes from where, right?
Especially at a party, I would never be expecting to get got with the snakes in a can.
Nope.
Sneaking off behind the rocks.
You better not. The monster's gonna get you. Ah! Great show. It's the eyes.
Oh, Richard.
Oh, what?
Hey, Rich.
Yeah?
Play that new song, will you?
Which one is that?
More Than Wanting You.
Sure.
Play that new song, you know. So the actor playing the song apparently also wrote. This is not Frank Sinatra Jr.'s work.
This is taking me back to Gila Monster.
Oh, bro, do I have some news for you
Oh,
later
no.
on.
Lovers now and forevermore. When I look into your eyes, my love.
Sappiest song ever. Oh, I can write the perfect love song. Love theme from the Beach Girls and the Monster.
Great for our beach party. I mean, I guess it's working. Everybody's smooching.
Every movie in the mid to late 60s had to have a love theme. The love theme from the beach. Like, that's what they call that one song in Manos. The love theme from Manos. Because you remember that romantic song? They're like, why do they have this? What is this?
Gotta have the love theme.
The love theme.
Without a love of my own. It's much more than my just wanting you. And it's more than my mere having you. Can't you see that we were meant to be? Lovers now and forevermore. But now I know.
Whoa! You're getting way too close. He's gonna pick my eyeballs out.
And I'll never let you go out of my arms, ever my love. Now you are mine, ever my love.
Making the Tim Heidecker face. And that is gonna take us to our second break. So, yeah, I mean, we've seen the monster a few times,
Yeah.
but we haven't had an attack.
We had a close call.
Had a very close call. The last few minutes have just been an actual beach party,
Yeah.
which has been
Well, the highs and lows of that.
something. It has been all over. The springy eyes and the snakes in a can, obviously.
For
that
real,
really got Evan.
The next time I go to a party, I'm really tempted now because who is going to expect it?
I'm certainly not expecting. I wasn't expecting it there. I would never expect it. Never see it coming. That's what's good. It's a good one. Yeah, so that was pretty. I mean, again, I'm not bored, right? Like,
no, not
that's
at all.
the thing about
this is a fun movie.
A schlocky movie is it's not going to be a boring movie. We've watched plenty of boring movies on this show. Again, every movie has its merits, but I mean, I don't find myself bored here. I mean, there's just always something ridiculous. It's like, why are they doing it this way? What's going on? It's hard to figure out if it's something with just this is the way the screenplay was written and this is the way that the producer wanted it, or was this something that the director wanted? Like, that's with a question with every movie. But here it's weird because, again, the screenwriter and the producer were married, right? So, like, this is very much like their like project, and it was written under the title Surf Terror, which, you know, that's a pretty good title, right?
Yeah.
Surf Terror. And somehow along the way they decided to involve John Hall because again, like I said earlier, he was a famous actor in the 40s. He was what they call a matinee idol, which means that you're kind of a romantic lead usually, and you'll be doing like an action adventure type stuff, but like the women are meant to swoon over you. It's a very outdated kind of form of stardom, but that was what John Hall was. And of course, by this time in his career, he was old and washed up, but he was also an inventor and had invented had patents on like certain kinds of underwater cameras, and like he was actually his father was also an inventor, and they invented stuff together. I mean, he was very he was a smart guy, but
all those hours in the lab.
Yeah, a lot of time in the lab. It paid off for him. I mean, because he also held a patent for the design of the hull of a PT boat that was the U.S. Navy used, right? Like he had it was a lot of like naval and kind of like aquatic, like underwater type things that he helped like invent and held patents on. So like I mean, we haven't seen any underwater shots, so I don't know that they were necessarily using any camera equipment from him, but somehow in the process of trying to make this, they got him involved. And again, is it him calling the shots with the producer? The actors kind of said different things. They're like, oh yeah, John Hall was like a nice guy, but he definitely had that Hollywood star ego, but he was nice. Like he was a nice guy. But I believe it was the actor who played who's playing the lead right now, who I can't even think of the lead's name of this movie, right?
Richard, or
is it Richard? Guy? I think it's Richard. The actor playing Richard said, you can barely call John Hall a director. They're like, we kind of directed ourselves. And then, the producer, Edward Janis, they were like, he knew what he wanted. So he was kind of really more of a director even than John Hall was. So it's like, you never know who to believe with those kind of things.
An indie movie means the actors are acting independently.
Right. Yeah, I mean, pretty much. You don't have a lot of time for direction when the director is like, in this case, especially if he's the one setting up the shot. It's like, I don't have time to tell you what your character should be thinking in this moment. I have to get the lighting crew to. I mean, they don't even probably have much of a lighting crew for this kind of indie production. I believe it was shot in April 1964 in like a week. Like it was very, again, like par for the course with movies on this show. It didn't spend a lot of time on it. And so, that you get what you get. But John Hall was kind of like, again, like I said, at one time he was a matinee idol. He's a bankable star. So those trailers that we're going to see during the break are from some of John Hall's starring roles. Again, he played in these adventure romance films that were in Technicolor that Universal put out. And so that's one of the trailers. Two of the trailers we're going to see during the break are for those movies. I believe the first one is Arabian Nights, which is like an adaptation of the it's a story, right?
Yeah, the Arabian Nights.
Right. So, I mean, I'm sure it's a very loose adaptation, but, and the other trailer is for a movie called Cobra Woman, which they both starred John Hall and this actress named Maria Montez. And they were paired together for 6 films, which were incredibly popular. And that was kind of how he got his reputation. And so we're gonna see those 2 trailers. And we're also gonna see a trailer for The Invisible Agent, which John Hall was in, and he plays the titular invisible agent. And he is you know, again, it was made during World War II. So he is running around Nazi Germany as an invisible man trying to thwart the Nazis and help the Allies. It is absurd.
Does he have an invisible bikini?
Well, you know, I mean,
that's spycraft.
That's real spycraft. That's gonna really distract those pesky Nazis. But he did, you know, I've seen it. It's not my favorite Invisible Man movie. He's the only actor to play Invisible Man twice. I don't have the trailer for the other one that he did, but he was in the one that came after that, totally unrelated, but it's called The Invisible Man's Revenge. And he just plays kind of like a crazy guy who a mad scientist turns him invisible, which all the other movies are about, like, outside invisible agent. Like, there's a scientist and he's trying to create this invisibility thing. And it's like, you know, usually the person who's turned invisible is like innocent, but the invisibility drives them crazy and blah, blah, blah. Like Invisible Man's Revenge, like he was a guy who was wronged and left for dead, but he's also just now murdering people and like on a quest for revenge, which, I mean, the title of the movie, but it's just not my thing. But I actually rewatched it earlier this week because I was like, I haven't seen it in a while. Let me watch it again. It's just, they were grasping at straws. It was the last one until Abbott Costello met the Invisible Man, which was just a total, you know, don't even get me started. I actually enjoyed that one as a kid. But the older I got, the more I realized how tired their shtick was by the time they made that movie. It was like, all right, I get it. We've seen the candle joke a million times. The moving candle, we get it. It was funny the first time, but second time you got away with it, but there's a line. So yeah, I mean, it's John Hall was an interesting actor, so we're gonna see these trailers from his heyday, and then when we come back, we're gonna get into the exciting conclusion of The Beach Girls and the Monster. So stick around, we'll be right back.
Baghdad, city of temptation, home of fiery adventure, daring romance, turning the 1,001 nights of story into 1,001 thrills, as ruler and rogue, slaver and sinner, fight for the forbidden Scheherazade.
Scheherazade, you shall not return to Baghdad now. You will ride with me beyond the river.
Behold this damsel. I have 90 dinars bid. Do I hear 100? See, gentlemen, I remove the veil.
You take your men and search every house in the city if need be. But find Scheherazade and bring her here.
They're off! They're off!
Arabian Nights, produced by Walter Wanger and starring John Hall, Maria Montez, Sabu, with Leif Erikson, Billy Gilbert, Shemp Howard, and the beauties of the harem. You'll thrill to the slave market, the torture rack, blazing battles, in a story rich and exotic as the East itself.
Now, my brother, you condemn me to the slow death. Yours shall be swift and sure. There's an enemy spy at large, an invisible man.
It's amazing. Oh, you will be of great help to us.
Who is this terrifying Phantom Commando? What is his amazing mission? See The Invisible Agent, suggested by H.G. Wells' Invisible Man, starring Ilona Massey and John Hall, with Peter Lorre, Sir Cedric Hardwicke, J. Edward Bromberg, Albert Basserman, in the most amazing story of our times.
Carl!
Steady now. Don't let him get away.
Gesundheit. Who is there?
How did you know I was going to England?
I didn't, but...
So the trap was all set, eh?
Frank, how can you talk like that?
Oh, what's this? It's full of hooks. Oh, they're tearing into me.
King Cobra!
Montez, Queen of Technicolor, twice as lovely, twice as exciting, playing a dual role as twin sisters of the tropics, vying for love. One through power, the other through pleasure. See a greater Montez, venomous in hate, rapturous in love. A more daring John Hall, a rascally Sabu, with Lon Chaney, Edgar Barrier, Lois Collier, Mary Nash, and Coco, in a story containing all that you desire in romance and adventure. The horror of masses terrified by King Cobra. The thrill of sinuous beauties in the dance of the snakes.
You kissed me at the pool, remember?
Yes,
You knew me then,
I thought I did.
and you know me now.
Do you think you could find the place again if these men went with you?
Oh, no. They get lost. I get lost. Very useless. Double the guards. I want every inch of the island searched until that girl and those strangers are found.
I, Martok, demand that these two strangers shall die in the manner devised by me and prescribed by our island custom.
And we are back. So, yeah, I mean, you can see John Hall kind of swashbuckling around and, you know, gallivanting. I mean, that was kind of the reputation. Those were the kind of films that he usually starred in, the kind of roles. Action hero, for sure. And I mean, you know, I read a bunch of stuff about his, like, you know, I don't know if any of it was true, if it was just studio publicity, but something about, like, he is the son of a Tahitian princess or something like that. I don't know if that's true. But, I mean, he kind of, I don't know, he just had that reputation, and, you know, I mean, the one other thing big thing that I found about him was that he was involved in this basically this tabloid fight called the Battle of the Balcony, where he had been invited along with a bunch of other people to the house of this musician at the time named Tommy Dorsey. who I don't know if he's like a trumpeter or he had his own band or something like that. He is one of those, 40s big band guys, I'm pretty sure, right? So Tommy Dorsey apparently caught his like John Hall, like he said, like hugging his wife or something, like as John Hall was like leaving the party and didn't like it. And so he's like, all right, come out here on the balcony. We're going to fight. And one thing I read said that he took his shirt off and like was like, all right, we're doing this. It was apparently he was really drunk. And so John Hall goes out there and they start fighting and apparently like Tommy Dorsey tries to like throw him over a balcony and John Hall's like, well, if I go down, you're going down with me, right? He says that line. And then at some point, like Dorsey's wife went to go get help from their neighbor, this guy named Alan Smiley, who's apparently an associate of a gangster named Bugsy Siegel. And you might have heard. And you might have heard. And so at some point, once they arrived back on scene, John Hall somehow got his like face and neck all slashed up. And they said, oh, he like ran into a pot like when they were fighting and there was like a plant pot and he like crashed into it. And that's why he has all these lacerations. But John Hall said that something to the effect like what provoked like when Dorsey was like accusing him of doing something with his wife, he's like, look, you're either drunk or you smoked the wrong kind of cigarettes. Like, I didn't do anything with your wife. Like, I was just like saying goodbye. And so like after this like fight happened, John Hall drove himself to the hospital and ultimately declined to file charges. And I don't know if it was the gangster connection, because apparently some woman claimed to have witnessed it, and then like a week after she talked to the press, she got her kneecap broken. She said it was an accident, but it's like accident. And that time, that was how the mob worked. Like, they actually, you had an accident. So that was kind of like a big thing that John Hall, like that was probably around the time that his movie career was starting to like fade out a little bit, 1944. And yeah, I mean, they got it, his career kind of ended up here with The Beach Girls and the Monster. And we're about to get back into the exciting conclusion of tonight's film. The one other fact though, I want to just go ahead and get it out now. So the love interest of our lead character, I know they said her name, but it was like one time in the beginning. Do you know her name, Evan? No. See, right? Like I've been waiting to hear it again, so that when I said this fact, it was like, oh, you knew who I was talking about, right? Her name is Jane, right? Okay. So the actress playing Jane, her name is Elaine DuPont, right? She, guess who? At this time, while they're making this movie, this young woman, guess who she's married to?
Is it a DuPont?
Nope. Your head is going to spin.
Who is it?
Crash Corrigan.
No
way. Bro. Crash
My
Corrigan.
God.
I want you to think about that.
But I thought that it was just way too out there.
Nope. Crash Corrigan.
Wow.
I want you to think about this, because look at it at this time when this movie's made. Look at her. Think about, we're watching a serial with Crash Corrigan from 1936.
Yeah.
Think about how he looks there.
Right. Hollywood.
He had his own ranch, right? Who wouldn't want to marry that? I mean, come on. I don't blame her. that was the crazy fact that I was like, when I came across this, I was like, this is just it's so weird. It's
Small world.
Small world. Because again, for those of you who have no clue what we're talking about, for our mini-sodes every Wednesday, we're watching a serial called Undersea Kingdom, which stars Crash Corrigan, an actor who that's also the name of the character in the serial is Crash Corrigan, and it's a whole thing. You can go watch our serial episodes of Undersea Kingdom to learn about all that nonsense. But yeah, it was just a very small world. I was very surprised.
What a coincidence.
But yeah, I was like, wait, what? So that was great. I was surprised by that. Always, that's why I love doing the fact sheet, because you get something like that's like, oh, it's a synchronicity that I never would have expected. Like, so it's the synchronicity, the little things. So yeah, I mean, but anyway, we're about to get into the exciting conclusion of the Beach Girls and the Monster. And Evan, I mean, any thoughts as to how this is gonna shake out?
I feel like if we think way back to the cartoon that we watched, we got a little bit of well, there was that, but I think there was also a little bit of foreshadowing. We had our Scooby-Doo character. I think that this is going to end with they're going to take the mask off of this monster, and it's going to be Mark.
Oh!
He had a crazy look in his eyes when he was putting his thumbs through that sculpture.
You think it's an actual mask?
Yeah.
You don't think this is a monster? We're going to see.
We'll see.
We're going to see. We're on Monster Watch. On that note, we're going to go ahead and get into the exciting conclusion of The Beach Girls and the Monster right now.
I am leaving the premises. I am cutting out. There's creepy creatures going on.
Someone brought a ventriloquist to the party.
Oh, I'm scared. There's a monster in the surf.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Kingsley the Lion was in the credits introducing Kingsley the Lion.
He's got his own song. Is that Castro?
Yep. This is where he was hiding out.
He tries to drive a Woody,
but he ain't no goodie.
He's got one big flipper.
Thought it was the claw.
It ain't a watch.
It's your mother-in-law.
Oh my god, more of these props, bro. More of these joke shop props.
There's something like vaguely unsettling about this scene, the song.
Yeah, they're just joking about it. You know, someone's been murdered.
That's how you're killing people.
He does look like Castro. So, the guy with the puppet, you know who that is?
Is that also John Hall?
No, that's also the guy playing Mark, the guy who made that was a character from his children's TV show.
Right, I should have guessed.
And that's why they put a beard on him and the glasses so that you wouldn't tell that it's him.
I was wondering about the really shitty disguise.
Oh, Tom, I left my fins up in the blanket. Could you get them for me?
Oh, you'd forget your head if it wasn't attached.
Tom is the guy who shot the surf footage that we saw earlier in the film. Like the actual person who shot that footage. And now he's gonna get killed. That was sick footage. You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, this is a pretty interesting shot with the flames going in the. Yeah.
From this angle, it almost looks like a rooster if it didn't have the beak attached.
Rich, help!
I'm throwing sand at my girlfriend. What a gas, man. Oh my god, get out of here. Don't throw the fins. Damn. Got slashed.
Dead. Instantly dead.
His face is total.
Weird, the monster.
Oh, so that you heard. All right, great.
You killed him! You monster! Mark killed him! I saw him!
Rich, it's not true. Why should I kill Tom? It was some kind of a monster. A crazy-looking thing with a big fish head and some kind of a claw.
Mark, wait a minute. A monster here on the beach? Look, he's all clawed up. Just like Bunny was. We'd better call the sheriff.
Richard, you can't believe that I did it.
I'll call the sheriff. Brad, watch things, will you? You bet I will.
I love staring at dead bodies. Whoa!
We got here on the double.
Yep, driving like a boat, man.
20 or 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, that was definitely on purpose.
This makes two. You think there's a connection between Bunny's death
That's
and
how
Tom?
driving was all the time
Nobody
back
else has
then.
sighted a monster, did you say?
I know
Every
it
curve.
sounds crazy, but I swear that's what I saw. You've got to believe me. I was walking down the beach when I saw Tom struggling with this thing.
Yeah, you got to feel for him. It was a monster officer is not a good defense.
Well, what happened to this thing, this monster?
It ran away. I tried to follow, but it was too late.
There's your monster! I saw him!
But it was too late.
Kill him, Tom! You did it! You!
Easy now. Take it easy.
She's crazy. She's wrong, Sheriff.
We'll go down to the station, and you, young lady, can make a written statement of what you've seen. Are you arresting Mark, Sheriff? Not for the moment. I just want his statement. This young lady's made a serious charge. I've got to look into it.
What?
Scott, stay here with the body till the ambulance comes, will you? I want pictures of this whole area for the boys down at the lab.
What's that?
You kids get some clothes on, then we'll go down to the
not
station. I might as well get all these statements at once. Sue's pretty upset. Does she have to come now? She'll be all right. The doctor at the station will give her a sedative.
I don't know about that. I don't know. Give her a second.
Oh my god.
He's out of range. It's no use.
Why you just looking for an excuse to fire off your gun?
Yeah, I really just wanted to use it.
Well, somebody's out after you kids, and right now he gets my vote.
Well, that was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah, the action here has really ramped up. I didn't expect stealing a cop car
Oh, thanks
to
for
happen.
the wonderful evening, Paul. Just like old times. I'll call you soon. Bye.
Oh, don't worry, you won't wake my husband. He sleeps like a rock. An undersea rock.
A surf rock.
Sir, this is where Fresh. We miss you, Fresh. Come in handy with the boom. Nice. Look at those
doorbells.
Yep, giant chimes, dude.
Bring those back. Giant doorbells.
No, I would definitely run into them all the time like that.
Right, when you're trying to sneak in after your midnight liaison.
Yeah, it was a midnight rendezvous. Can I make myself a drink? Oh yeah, the good stuff. Uh-oh. Mark? That was just leaving that out.
Yeah, I'm sure no one else will see this. monster wrote that. No, that would be a wild twist.
Yeah, just see him click-clacking away at the typewriter.
Goes into the room.
Why? Is she hammered? Or is she trying to be seductive to nobody? To us, obviously. To the camera.
She's gotta warm up.
Mark?
I like that shot. Creepy.
Mark. It's Vicky. Mark? Is that you, Mark?
What? Did the monster write the note?
I guess so.
Why do I keep being right?
You're a psychic, Evan.
If this ends up being a Scooby-Doo deal, I'm gonna... I was joking, maybe. Gotta keep these tramps off of my beach.
Dang.
Yeah.
She's all clawed up. The makeup's pretty good.
That's true, it is.
You gotta give it to him for that.
I do question the, like... I think it's weird that they get clawed once and then they're dead.
That's all it takes. Well, and for a while he's just kind of like choking them around, and then, yep, just kind of. Yeah, there you go. Yep, that's what it is. Oh my God! Get out!
Watch out! Watch out! You just cut that guy off.
Hey, take it easy. It's my car you're driving, remember?
Oh my God!
You know, that's the first time I was ever in a police station.
God, this.
All those questions.
I know what you mean. They made me feel guilty. I sure wish I knew where Mark was.
Richard, do you think the sheriff was right? Did the same person that killed Bunny kill Tom?
What if it isn't
Where
a
this guy
person
learned
at
how to
all?
drive?
Some kind of a sea monster.
Oh, that's a scary thought. I don't think I'll ever go down on that beach again.
Not till the killer's caught, anyway. You know, Dad and I were working on mutations at the lab a few months ago. And Dr. Schiller in Switzerland put out a paper on the same thing. It seems that by certain radioactivity in KCl beams, he grew a turtle to 3 times its normal size.
Do you really believe Mark's story?
Mark's not a liar. He had no earthly reason to kill Tom or Bunny. The only thing the sheriff has on him is Sue's accusation. He wasn't even on the beach when Bunny was killed.
Well, we didn't see him anyway.
No, it's not Mark. I had a very funny feeling about all this. Why hasn't anyone else seen the killer? Why has it struck only one of our group? What could it possibly have against us?
What if the killer is someone we know?
Maybe it's something about the area. Listen, Janie, both killings occurred in the same place, right on the beach below my house.
What's your house got to do with it?
Not the house, but the area. What if there's some place for the killer to return to hide and wait in? That rock cave, for instance.
Hey, where are you going?
Taking you home, and I'm going back to the beach and look around.
Oh, no, you don't. I'm going with you.
You're not. It might be dangerous.
Well, then I'm definitely not going to let you
like
go down there
50 miles
alone.
an hour.
I'm going with you, and that's that.
Yeah, that is the most absurd, like, rear projection driving I've ever seen.
He was that steering wheel was just dead ahead too.
Yeah, everything was just way too stilted about that.
What are we looking for?
I don't know.
Monster lives in this drainage
here, I guess.
Atomic waste, of course.
They haven't found anything.
Wait here, Janie. I'll just be a minute, honey.
Okay, be careful.
And we never saw him again.
No flashlight. Oh, flashlight.
Wait, he's just... Oh, wait, no. Is that Mark?
Oh.
Or is that him? Oh my god, stop it! A jump scare, that was very good. Very nice. Very nice.
I guess I was wrong. Couldn't find a thing.
I guess it was him?
I was so
Was
sure
it?
there was something about this place.
Ooh, let's get out of here. This whole place gives me the creeps.
We'll go to my house and I'll make you some hot coffee. Guess I'm not a detective after all.
Hot
I'll have to
coffee,
find
the
another way to help
perfect
Mark.
cure for the creeps. Give him that Sinatra beat.
Famous Sinatra bongos.
So this riff and the rock like guitar songs are played by a band either called The Illusions or The Hustlers. And apparently they were a high school band and they recorded the soundtrack in one night.
Wow, okay.
And they were never paid.
They got paid in exposure.
They got food. They got they got paid in fast food. No, I think they got like a, I don't know, had dinner at a Chinese restaurant or something. As much as they got. All right. Wait, what? He's breaking into somebody's private room.
Pretty easily.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a little.
Oh
no! When did the eyes get veins like that? Oh, the prototype. Maybe that was the actual sculpture, and then the Don Post mask. Who's this? Yikes. You screwed me, Don. This looks nothing like what we molded. Honestly, that other mask would have been better. Oh, shit!
Yeesh.
Oh, no. Stop it. You were right, Evan. You were right, unfortunately.
I hate.
I hate
when
being
I'm
right.
Wow. Okay, so Mark's a psycho.
Mark! That was Mark that just got killed.
Sorry.
Dad. Dear old dad. Otto, I believe is his name.
We've got to stop him, Sheriff. I think he's gone mad. Now, take it easy, son. We'll stop him. Hurry, Sheriff. He's getting away. No, he won't. Car 127. Car 127.
I gotta get away.
This is Sheriff Michaels here. Come in. Over. Car 127.
Now that's not bad.
Over. All right, Scott. Be on the lookout for a... Was he in that white MG that just took out? He must have taken Janie's car. Scott, it's a white MG convertible. He should be passing you on the Hill Road just about now. Apprehend immediately, but use extreme caution. It's our beach killer. I just picked him up. He's turning into the Tri-Canyon Road.
Damn.
I'll continue the chase until further instructions. Over. Good. Stay with him. I'll get the other canyons covered up. 10-4. He's boxed himself in. Attention, all units. Attention, all units in the Tri-Canyon Road area. Sheriff Michaels here. Be on the lookout for a white MG convertible. Cover Malibu Canyon Road. I'll cover the Cliff Mountain Road myself. Report immediately.
So is this a ploy to get his son back in the lab?
All right, you kids, let's go.
To scare,
I guess.
Scare him off the beach.
Scare him back
by
into the lab.
Murdering his friends.
I think so.
Wow.
It's pretty absurd.
so Mark was just our red herring.
Well, if it was Scooby-Doo, hey, red herring had to make an appearance. So yeah, I guess so.
Why did he do it, Sheriff? I'm afraid he thought he was doing it for you. For me? That's right.
Yep, Evan, you're right. I love like the lighting on him and his crazy expressions and the freaking
calling Sheriff Michaels. Car 127.
terrible
Whoa! Over. Suspect now turning into Cliff Mountain Road. You should sight him any minute now.
It is airplane, bro.
It really is. I love it. Like whenever it doesn't match up, it just makes it look like the car is spinning wildly out of control.
Now that's real footage of a cop actually pulling them over while they're trying to drive like that. Where are they, on Mulholland?
Can't you go faster, Sheriff? Look, kid, relax. He's not getting away.
We can take our time.
God. Oh, I'd be so sick. Oh, I'd be so sick.
He was being saved.
Wow.
Can't you get
That's stock footage.
Hold on.
The first bit wasn't bad though.
No.
Decent model work.
I guess we lost him.
We lost him.
Look back there, Sheriff. He must have gone over the cliff.
You're right. Come on.
Jesus.
Hey, it's a barbecue. Nah, 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 nah.
All
I'm
the
going down there.
dancers
It's no use.
disappear.
We can get within 50 yards of that car.
Jeez.
Brutal.
Rip.
Wow. That was it, huh?
What a talent.
Is that it? Yep. All right.
Yeesh.
Well, that was The Beach Girls and the Monster. So, what did we think, Evan?
Well, it's funny. I feel like I've spent the last hour seeing things coming But I did not see that ending. I didn't think they were just gonna kill him. Jeez.
Well, I'm curious to know where you thought they would go.
Well, I thought that the monster would be real. I was kidding about the mask stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I thought you were serious. I definitely wanted the monster to be real.
Right, I thought they were gonna do some kind of. They kept talking about the lab and like radioactive potassium.
Yeah, there were all
things
kind
or
of little
whatever.
threads that could have made it possible, and that would have
Yeah.
been cool, right? Like, because he still could have created a monster to lure his son back into the lab,
Right.
but instead he just pretended to be the monster to
It
lure
just
his
feels
son.
kind of weird. Like I just didn't. It doesn't seem. It's so illogical for a scientist to do that. Of all people.
Yeah, he's definitely lost his marbles.
Yeah,
Remember, he didn't even know where he was at
Yeah,
one point.
right. Yeah, he just blamed the Alzheimer's.
Yeah. So I don't, it is kind of sad. So watching the sad decline of a sad scientist. Well, that's, I mean, again, the monster wasn't real, but it's about the fun we had along the way.
Right.
Right? Like, it's real or not real. It was a good run while people are getting clawed to death. And you're like, yeah, monster, sure.
Yeah, it was fun while it lasted.
Fun while it lasted, but of course it couldn't be real. Yeah, I was definitely surprised to see a second monster head that really honestly looked better than the first. So I don't quite know what they were thinking, but again, it looked like it was just made by the sculptor, or he just like, it was the head he made. It had some shimmer on it. I don't know, it looked really cool. But then again, as we said, what did we call him earlier? We said that he had Muppet eyes, right? So I think that the Muppet-eyed monster, I think that's a pretty good summary for what the costume was, even though unfortunately there was no real monster. That's, I think this movie as a whole, I won't necessarily hold that against it.
No, for what it's going into this, I think I got more or less what I was expecting and hoping to get out of it. Like, there was plenty of beach party stuff. The surfing stuff was cool. It's just kids being kids.
Yeah.
Dancing around, I guess.
And then a monster clawing people's faces. And blood. You have to appreciate that there was a little bit of gore.
That is true. That is true.
Again, the code was pretty much broken down at this point, or almost completely broken down. So it was, the boundaries were being pushed. So this wasn't necessarily anything groundbreaking for the time, but at least there's some gore. I mean,
it's fun. It's cheesy. It's campy. Mm-hmm. It's schlocky, but it's fun.
Very schlocky. And a lot of fun. And again, like we said earlier, we pointed out a synchronicity in the cast. There's like a bunch of other synchronicities I completely forgot about. One, so they shot a lot of the beach scenes at Will Rogers State Beach out in California, and that was the beach I would go to whenever I was out in Los Angeles.
Oh,
yeah? That was like the part of the
the cave.
I didn't. There were a lot of those drainage pipes, so one of those might have been it. There was Malibu was just down the way, and it was I don't know. It was kind of crazy when I read that. I was like, oh, that was the beach I used to go to, and so they were filming at night there. It was and it was April, so it was really cold. And it was not a lot of fun for anybody. The other one was the fact that there was in the opening title credits, there's an additional dialogue credit for a man named Robert Silifant. And if you'll remember, we had,
that sounds familiar.
So Robert's brother Sterling was the one who made the bet with Bill Warren, who directed Manos: The Hands of Fate, who made the bet that you can't make a horror movie for however much money in Texas. And
those Silifants.
Yeah, and Robert also was involved in the writing of The Incredible Strange Creatures Who Stopped Living and Became Mixed-Up Zombies, and a movie which we will watch on this show called The Creeping Terror, which is also considered one of the worst movies of all time. So I don't know. Yeah, those Silifants, man, they are wrapped up in these cheesy worst horror movies of all time. Like it's all their fault. It's definitely. So that was another cool synchronicity. That was like, oh, okay, yeah, we talked about like the Silifants earlier. So that was
it
cool.
all ties together. We've got our characters this season.
The last one is that in some parts of the United States, this played on a double bill with The Playgirls and The Vampire, which we talked about last week because it is an Italian horror film re-released in America under that title, much like Werewolf in a Girl's Dormitory. So, some good little synchronicities. This is actually the last one, and you'll like this. So, you brought up when, the guy was singing, playing guitar, that reminded you of Giant Gila Monster, right? Next week's film. There we go. Yeah, here it is.
Segue.
So next week we're watching a 1958 film entitled Teenage Zombies, which stars Don Sullivan, who was in The Giant Gila Monster, and also in... What else did we see him in? He was in something else. Oh, I cannot think of it off the top of my head. I've got to look it up. It's going to drive me crazy if I can't. So I feel like it was something else we watched. No. Well, we're going to see him in this and another movie we'll watch eventually, which is a movie like tonight's film, but it's an actual sea monster, the monster of Piedras Blancas. So that also has Don Sullivan. But yeah, so we remember him from The Giant Gila Monster. He was the guy singing, playing the guitar. So he is the star of Teenage Zombies, which of course is about a bunch of teenagers who end up on the island of Mad Woman Scientist, who is like involved with spies, like Cold War, like Russian spies and shit, and she's turning teenagers into mindless zombies, and it's very bad. Okay, so this is the first movie of the season that I have seen, and so I am speaking from experience, and it's the first movie we'll have on the stream from a man named Jerry Warren, who is maybe the only movie, but he's just a very like schlocky filmmaker who would just the most, I'm like rubbing my temples because it's just the most static shots, the most stilted acting, the most stilted dialogue. And then when he wasn't doing that, he would just buy foreign films and like dub and like refilm some new stuff and like, Curse of the Aztec Mummy and like things like you take a Mexican mummy movie and then, redub it and he took some kind of Mexican film that Lon Chaney Jr. actually starred in, playing like a Wolfman character, and he cut it together with some new footage and called it Face of the Screaming Werewolf, which I don't know if it's public domain, But if it is, I'd love to watch it because it's the last time that Chaney actually. He looks kind of like it's similar Wolfman makeup to his classic look, but it's just it's just a random independent production. But Jerry Warren just had a awful style, so I'm very excited to share that next week because he's a cult figure in and of himself. So next week, Teenage Zombies. You can catch that Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Of course, we are in the house every Wednesday for another installment of Undersea Kingdom.
Things are heating up.
Yeah, things are heating up. We're going to be on
white robes, black robes.
Yeah, I can't keep track of it. Everybody, all the fashion. We've talked about it. There's just, all these serials, the good guys, the bad guys, all it comes down to really is fashion. It's a fashion war. We're on our 5th chapter, I believe. And things are definitely at when I think about it, it was pure chaos when we left off. Like there was
a complete melee.
Literally, like the bad guys are attacking the good guys' fortress, and good guys are just running in opposite directions, like pandemonium. And it's like, and our main character has been designated the commander of the army out of nowhere, and of course the army is just in shambles.
Complete disarray.
It's pretty absurd. And I think next week, I don't remember next week's title. It's something about prisoners. People are trapped, or there's some kind of something going on. So should be fun. We'll see how Crash gets out of it. So you can catch that Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Of course, you can find all of our past episodes over on YouTube at Stream Live. We are over on the other socials, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Thank you. At Stream Show. You can find me on Twitter at Spakenstein and Mr. Evan Sink on Twitter at Caligari Cursed. Anything before we sign off tonight, Evan?
I also use that greasy kid stuff.
Ew. Until next week, sweet screams, everybody.
And to all, a good fright.